Lapu-Lapu, Hero of Cebu. Lapu-Lapu is widely celebrated as the first Filipino hero, famously vanquishing Portuguese conquistador Ferdinand Magellan and his army in their attempt to colonize Mactan Island. In honor of his triumph, Lapu-Lapu monuments stand tall in the island of Mactan today, symbolizing the country's first successful resistance to Spanish colonization. Apart from successful defying foreign invaders, title is known about the man and the legend, and that is Lapu-Lapu. Lapu-Lapu is also known under the name of Si Lapu-Lapu, Salipulaka, Kalipulaco, and Lapu-Lapu di Mantag. In 1521, Ferdinand Magellan unintentional stab upon Homonhon Island, known today as Samar, while he was en route to Indonesian Spice Island. There, he was able to establish an alliance with local rulers, particularly Raha Umabon of Cebu. It was Magellan who convinced Raha Umabon and his wife to be baptized into Catholicism and later offered them the Santo Niño. This is said to be the very moment in history when the Christian religion was introduced to the Philippines. Recognizing the warm hospitality of Umabon towards them, Magellan did so to introduce Catholicism to nearby islands like Mactan. There lived two rival chiefs, Zula and Lapu-Lapu, while the former welcomed the Spanish conquistador and submit to Spain. Lapu-Lapu strongly opposed Magellan's proposal and Humabon's order, thus sparkling the Battle of Mactan. According to the Aguinid Chronicles, or local chronicles from Raha Tupas of Cebu, it was Humabon himself who provoked the Spaniards into fighting against Lapu-Lapu and his army. Italian scholar Antonio Pigafetta traveled with Magellan during his voyage, keeping a journal to record events and collect data on local inhabitants. According to his account, during the Battle of Mactan, Magellan and 50 of his troop members were up against Lapu-Lapu and his 1,500 warriors. Because Magellan wanted to show off his army European armor, he asked Umabon warriors, a gift to the explorer, to stay on the ship. Megapetat writes that Lapu-Lapu and his army aimed their fire-hardened bamboo spears and poison arrow at the leg of their enemies, killing Magellan. The survivor came rushing back into the ship and fled. In honor of Lapu-Lapu victory, a 20-meter brass statue was erected on Mactan Island, and the town of Opon in Cebu was renamed Lapu-Lapu City. The city government of Cebu annually holds an event on April 27 called Kadaugan sa Mactan, or means Free for All, to commemorate the victory at the Battle of Mactan, reenacting the battle between Magellan's army and Lapu-Lapu's tribe. Characteristics: as a Filipino people live in his born land, we can't allow other countries to rule our government and our lives. Filipinos since that conquer have eagerness to rule in our nation, so Filipinos declared battle from conquer to stop them aiming to be covered from them. Lapu-Lapu fight against Magellan. Have a strong faith and braveness personality leads him to become a leader and revolt against Magellan and win the battle. That Lapu-Lapu win the battle against Magellan. Andres Bonifacio, Filipino political leader. Andres Bonifacio, born on November 30, 1863, and died on May 10, 1897 at Mount Buntis, Philippines. Andres Bonifacio is a Philippine patriot, founder and leader of the Nationalist Katipunan Society who instigated the revolt of August 1896 against the Spanish. Bonifacio was born on poor parents in Manila and had a little formal education, working as a messenger and warehouse keeper before becoming involved in revolutionary activities. He was, however, well-read, who wanted to reform Spanish rule in the Philippines. Bonifacio advocated complete independence from Spain. In 1892, he founded the Katipunan in Manila, modeling its organization and ceremony on that Masonic order. The Katipunan at first grew slowly, but by 1896, it was an estimated 100,000 members and branches not only in Manila but also in Central Luzon and on the islands of Panay, Mindoro, and Mindanao. Its members were mostly workers and peasants. The urban members, middle class, supported reform rather than revolution. In August 1896, Bonifacio led the long-planned resurrection of Luzon, but his forces were defeated by Spanish troops, and he was forced to retreat to Montalban in the north, while Emilio Aguinaldo, one of his lieutenants, carried on resistance, and the Spanish systematically routed the insurrectos. It becomes increasingly clear that Bonifacio was an ineffective military leader. In 1897, a convention of Torrijos named Aguinaldo rather than Bonifacio president of a new Philippine Republic, refusing to recognize the convention of Bonifacio, tried to establish his own rebel government. In April 1897, Aguinaldo had Bonifacio arrested and tried for treason. He was executed by a firing squad. Katipunan. In full, kataas-taasan kagalang-galangan ng katipunan ng anak ng bayan, or a supreme worshipful association of the Son of the People. Filipino nationalist organization founded in 1892 to oppose Spanish rule. The organization numbered anywhere from 100 to 400,000 members. The Filipino nationalist Emilio Aguinaldo was the leader of this group, which successfully fought the Spanish. Most of the members were Tagalog. Characteristic: optimistic attitude and strong sense of responsibility. Andres Bonifacio was barely 14 years old when they were orphaned. Without any hesitation, he assumed the responsibility of raising his younger siblings. In order to meet the daily needs of their family, he engaged in making and peddling paper fans and wooded canes. Despite the fact that he cannot afford a formal education for himself, it did not prevent him from seeking knowledge by reading during his free time. Bonifacio had shown high regard for education, and despite his meager status, he engaged in reading books written in Tagalog and Spanish. Filipinos should realize that, even at present, a commendable reading habit is very important in enriching minds and in making oneself productive and competent. Value for work and virtue of not wasting time. In Filipino workers would maintain the dignity of their work just like Bonifacio. Both private and public services were definitely be delivered efficiently and effectively. And workers are more time-oriented and hardworking. The development and process of the Philippines will not be impossible, for time is not wasted merely for standing, gossiping, and image building, but more on directing services and fulfillment of duties for the betterment of the society. Patriot and love of his native language. When the Kalayaan, the official organ of the Katipunan essays written by Bonifacio, such as Ang Dapat Mabatid ng Mga Tagalog and Pag-ibig ng Tinubuang Lupa, were included. Bonifacio engaged the use of the vernacular in the association and opted to write in Tagalog to show patriotism and love of his native language.